guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Shannon. If it's your first time here, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you'll consider subscribing, maybe ringing the notification bell so I can see you here next time. And if you're stopping back by, I appreciate you so much. Thank you guys. We have over 200 subscribers now, and I'm super excited about that. So today's video, we're going to be talking about the first gratis video that I did. This is kind of the follow-up. I've had plenty of time to work with these products now, and I figured I'd give you some insight. I did a pretty good job in the time of the original video of kind of telling you guys a little bit about each product as I went along. If I had used it, I gave you my feedback at that time. But now we've really had time to work with this stuff, so I just want to give you my final thoughts, and without further ado, let's dive right in. So I'm going to try to go pretty quickly through each of these items because I did kind of go into detail in the first video. So if you're curious, you can go back to the original video. It was just my first gratis haul. I'm wearing like a blue shirt with like flowers on it. Anyways, all right, so the first product is this Becca Anti-Fatigue Under Eye Primer. You guys, I love this. I've talked about it several times. I just recently posted my Becca brand overview, and I love this. I think it's amazing. I think it definitely smooths out my under eyes as well as sort of set the stage for concealer. And I really think this is a beautiful product. I thought at first it was going to be gimmicky, but turns out I was wrong. Next product is actually on my lips right now. This is the NYX Liquid Suede. This is the metallic version. It's in the shade Mauve Mist. This is right up my alley, this shade. I think it's beautiful. I love the way that the NYX Liquid Suedes perform and how they feel on my lips. They're very lightweight. I don't find them to be too crumbly. They are a bit drying, but not as drying as some other liquid lipsticks I've tried, and the metallic is no different, in my opinion, than the original. Doesn't feel gritty or anything like that, and I love this shade, so I would definitely recommend that one. Now, the Stila Stay All Day and Sheer Patina. Patina is probably it's tough, but it's one of my all-time favorite lipsticks of all time. The shade, the formula, the longevity, the whole kit and caboodle. I'm really disappointed by these sheer ones, especially this here. I don't find this to be as dark as Patina or as Mauve, and I'm just not a fan of this sheer formula. The only way that I've really been able to make it work for me is by layering it on top of something else. I feel like these are better sort of in the center of the lips as more of like an accent rather than like the sole lipstick that you wear that day. For me personally, this is definitely a pass. I can't recommend it to you guys. The Clinique Chubby Stick, however, I love this. I love this shade. I think it's beautiful. I think this is going to be so much fun in the summer months ahead. What I love about this is it is super hydrating. This is not something that's going to dry your lips out, but it's going to give you a fun pop of color. They're not the most long wearing. However, they do leave a really pretty stain to the lips and they fade gracefully. So this is definitely one I would recommend, and I would be interested in picking up a different shade for myself as well. Now, the Urban Decay Slide On, Glide On, and I'm sorry, Slide On, Glide On, I'm talking about NYX. The 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Alkaline, beautiful shade. This is probably my all-time favorite Urban Decay liner. I love this color. I really think it makes blue and green eyes pop, and I also feel like if you're doing like a beautiful mauve or berry toned eyeshadow look, this is the perfect piece to complement the eye look and really take it to the next level. I know these are spendy, you guys, but they're absolutely amazing pencils, and I highly recommend them. I did receive the Anastasia Liquid Glow in the shade Perla. I am not a huge fan of liquid illuminators, you guys, not for my face anyways. I think this is going to be beautiful in the summer months tied in with my moisturizer, like on my legs and body, to really add a beautiful glow. But for me personally, this is not something that I would pay full price top dollar for. I just feel like there are ulterior products at the drugstore that will give you the same effect and probably be a third of the cost, and just for what I would use this for, it's not worth spending that kind of cash on it. All right, the Dermablend Bronze Camo Bronzer. I think this is really beautiful. I have worked with it quite a few times. I thought it was going to be far too deep for me personally, but it actually is it shears out, you guys. It doesn't come off as intense as it looks in the pan. Now, is this something I would spend my money on? Probably not, just because I feel like there are other bronzers in my collection that I prefer over this. So it's not like a repurchase or a purchase for me, but it is a pretty bronzer nonetheless. All right, NARS Laguna. This, however, this is a beautiful bronzer, you guys. It really is. I love the shade so much. These are so expensive. It to me is kind of insane how costly these are. I mean, the pan is pretty large, but at 50 bucks, it is steep, especially when you can get like the Tantastic bronzer for $49, same price from Marc Jacobs, and you get like double the amount of product. It's a tough pill to swallow, but this is a beautiful bronzer, and I love having it in my collection. All right, I did receive the Blush Trios from Anastasia. I did receive Pink Passion as well as Cocktail Party. These are so beautiful. I love these, you guys. This is definitely worth your 30 bucks. These will last you for quite some time, I'm sure, because they're very pigmented. A little goes a long way. And I just think the tones in these palettes are so beautiful. This speaks summer to me far more than any other time of year. This shade here is a better sort of bronzer. For me, you do have to go in with a light hand, but this one here in, what is this one? Pink Passion. Everybody was raving about the peachy one. I think it's like Peachy Love. When these first came out. Me personally, this is my jam. You guys know I love berry tones. I love mauves, and this is what I have on my cheeks today. I think they're very long wearing. I think they're ultra pigmented. Definitely worth your 30 bucks, especially you get 3 shades. Now, it is a little difficult to get your brush into each individual shade. It can be done, but you guys, 100% recommend these, 100%. All right, and then I did also receive the bronzer from Anastasia in the shade Rich Amber. Now, again, I thought this was going to be far too deep on me. It's not. It's beautiful. I love this bronzer. I think these are definitely worth your money. And to be quite frank, you guys, I don't think $28, $29 is that steep of a price tag for a high-end bronzer, especially considering something like this is double the cost, essentially. So to be honest, you guys, I would look into these Anastasia bronzers. The formula is beautiful. They blend beautifully. They're ultra pigmented. The shades do pull a little bit more on the warm side, so if you're not a big fan of that, you may want to pass. But I mean, the packaging is beautiful. It feels luxurious. It performs amazing, and I love it. All right, the Tarte Maracuja Oil. I did receive the small version of it. I just pulled out my big one. Obviously, I love this oil. I think this is so beautiful. I prefer it more so in the winter months, but what this is also great for is sort of, if you have a super matte foundation and you just really don't want to rock that matte look, add a drop of this. Add a drop of this into your foundation and you will be surprised at how it totally transforms that super matte foundation. I think this is an amazing product. I know it's a little bit spendy, but this bottle will literally last me a lifetime. You need the tiniest little bit of this, and if you have ultra dry skin, look no further than this guy right here. All right, I did receive the Stila Glitter and Glow in the shade Pagel. This is beautiful. I love this. There are a couple more shades of these that I would like to pick up. I will say I do feel like the price point on these is too high. I don't find that you get an excessive amount of product in here either, so it's kind of like if you were to use these on the daily as like your sole day-to-day makeup, you will blow through this like nobody's business. So I feel like these are a bit overpriced. However, they are beautiful. They perform beautifully. They last all day long. And so I can't say that it's not a product that performs. It performs. I don't know, you guys, 24 bucks. That's a lot of money for a single shadow. You know what I'm saying? Especially something that I mean, you're gonna go through this far quicker than you would a powder formula, so I don't know. The price is what really gets me on these. All right, the Bad Gal Bang from Buxom. This is a hard pass for me. I felt like this did get a little bit better with age. However, it just clumped up my lashes. I don't have a ton of lashes to begin with, so I really need my mascara to give me not only volume, but I like when a mascara gives me volume but also separates them at the same time. This turned all 3 of my lashes into one big lash. So this is a hard pass. I do not recommend this mascara. Save your coins, girls. I mean, if you love it, I'm happy for you, but it just did not work for me. And I've heard a lot of people say the same thing, that it's just a super wet, kind of clumpy formula. And I just think there's much better out there for far less money. All right, the Buxom Vava Plump in the shade White Russian. Unfortunately, you guys, I can't get this to work for me. I'm gonna have to pass this on to like a friend or something. The shade is really what gets me on this. It's just far too light. It kind of looks like concealer lips on me. And I've tried to use it several times. Now, formula-wise, formula is nice. This is something that you really want to go easy on though. Like, don't go layering, because then it's going to feel clumpy and kind of gross. But if you just keep your layer light, it's a beautiful formula. It's the shade. I would really like to try the shade Taupe It Off. If you guys have that specific shade, let me know what you think of it. All right, I did receive the Honest Beauty powder. I love this. I said that in the original video. I still love it. I will be so sad when this is gone, because I heard that you can get it on Amazon, I believe. I'm just not a big online order person. But I do like it enough to potentially make an order online. I mean, it really does smooth things out. It looks beautiful under the eyes. This is a beautiful powder. I really wish that they had it in store. All right, the Smashbox Radiance Primer. Upon further testing, I do like this primer. It's not my favorite Smashbox primer, but it is a nice primer. Do I think it's worth the money? I don't think it's worth the money, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be honest with you. It's nice, but it's $42 for this primer. And I just feel like you can get illuminating primers much cheaper that kind of do the same thing. So I would say pass on this. All right, the Tarte blush in the shade Sensual. When I looked at this, I was like, I mean, this is the most nude, mundane blush I've ever seen. Yet when you put it on your cheeks, it transforms. This is beautiful. Very underrated. Like, this is something I would look at in the store and not even give it like a second glance because of the shade. What I like about it is it's subtle. So if I go in with a crazy bold eye, I know I have Sensual to sort of soften everything and just keep things from going a little too overboard, if you will. It's just a beautiful natural flush. If you're looking for something that's subtle, maybe you're not a big blush person to begin with, I would say check this out. I mean, we all know that the Tarte blush formula is incredibly long wearing, so I mean, you're definitely going to get lasting power out of it. I know they're a little spendy, but they do last for quite some time. And I think you would be impressed. Swatch this out in store and let me know what you guys think. All right, I did receive the Anastasia matte lipstick in the shade Spice. I adore this lipstick. I love the shade. I love the formula. I know people say that these are far too drying, but I don't think they are. Now, when I compare this to some of my liquid lipsticks, this feels like a dream on the lips, to be quite honest. The tone is gorgeous. I feel like this is a better like fall sort of lipstick shade, but as far as formula goes, I would definitely purchase more Anastasia lipsticks based off of this one that I have. So let me know what you guys think, because I've heard a lot of people not like these, but I personally do. The Becca Velvet Blurring Primer, I've talked about this in my Becca overview. I've talked about this too many times for what it's worth. Not something I would repurchase. I'm not going to go into detail. If you want to know more, you can check out my Becca brand overview or the original haul video. Pass. All right, the Tarte Sponge, it is dirty. I've been testing this guy out. No, this is a pass for me. I do not like the shape, you guys. doesn't come to like a sharp point. So I look at the sponge and I look at it for baking, for really setting my under eyes and anywhere that I would want to bake. And this is annoying. Like this block at the end, I don't understand it. I far prefer my Real Technique sponge over this. I prefer my Eco Tool sponge over this. And honestly, my favorite sponges for baking is the NYX black sponge and the Morphe sponge with the slant. Those are my favorite baking brushes, and those are like a third of the cost of this. So squishy, the consistency is nice. It has nothing to do with that. This is just not, it's the shape. For me, it's the shape, hard pass. I would not purchase that with my own money. All right, the Buxom Big O. This is really nice. I love the formula. It's pretty moisturizing, but the packaging is what kills me on this. It's obnoxious, you guys. I could not imagine carrying this around in my bag. This might be something that would be best suited for like a beach bag, or like a nighttime application. But I mean, we all have chapsticks, I'm sure, lying around for nighttime. So I wouldn't go, personally, I wouldn't buy this. It's really the packaging. It's not functional, you know? And am I gonna buy a specific chapstick for the beach? Probably not. So that's probably what I'll wind up using it for is this summer. Right now I've been using it at night as a means of moisturizing my lips. But I mean, if this were in smaller packaging, I think the formula is nice. It has nothing to do with the formula. It's the packaging. For me, it's the packaging. All right, the Origins Ginseng SPF 40. This is the like tinted moisturizer that basically comes out white and is supposed to match your skin tone. Here's the deal. This is not universal. This is not going to work for everyone, and this is not the most long-wearing situation I've ever tried. I think this will be great for the summer months when I'm going to the beach and I just want to throw a little SPF on my face and get a little coverage out of it. I mean, why not? But it's kind of dark, you guys. Like, you blend it in and it gets kind of dark. So if you're super fair, like, this is borderline too dark for me. Now, if I was in the sun and kind of getting some sun at the same time, my face is a little bit darker than usual, it would probably be fine. But to say that this is universal and that this is going to match everybody is not, it's not true. It's not. I mean, it's going to give you some coverage, but if you're fair, it's going to make you look like an orange. So keep that in mind. I would definitely swatch it in store before buying it just to see if you can pull it off. I can, like I said, get this to work for me, but I have to really bring it down. Like, I have to bring it down so that there's no line of demarcation. So I will continue to use this, you know, up over the summer, but it's not something that I would repurchase personally. I think that you could do the It Cosmetics CC cream, quite honestly, and get a shade that's suitable for you and get more SPF out of it than this has to offer. So that's kind of how I feel about it. However, it smells fantastic. All right, the Urban Decay Cream Lipstick in the shade Easy. Beautiful color. Ooh, is that not a beautiful color, you guys? I die for that color. I think this is going to be so much fun in the summertime. I love the Urban Decay lipsticks. I don't think they get enough credit, to be quite honest. I don't really hear enough people rave about them. The cream lipsticks feel so good on the lips. They stay in place. They last for quite a long time for a bullet lipstick, and this shade just speaks to me on so many levels. I think this would be beautiful with like a bronze eye and a bold lip and some like big fluffy lashes. So that's probably what I will end up doing with it at some point. Stay tuned on Instagram because I do daily photos on Instagram of like my makeup of the day. But yeah, I would definitely pick up more of these Urban Decay lipsticks. I think I have 3 or 4 of them in my collection, and I love them. I think they're definitely worth the money. All right, I have the Becca Under Eye Corrector. I don't need to go into detail about this. You guys already know. If you watched any of my videos, you know that this is holy grail for me. This is just a super small sample size. I have a full size of it as well. This is something that I cannot be without. I refuse to be without this product. I've tried so many correctors. None of them perform and feel as amazing as this Becca one. Now, I know it's spendy, but the jar would literally last you a lifetime. You need the smallest amount. If you're uncomfortable with the price, maybe go in halves with somebody and put half of it in a little jar like this, you know, like a little Sephora sample container, because honestly, you guys could go in halves. what, $15 a piece, and still it would last you forever. So, you know, that's an option. The Tartlet Flirt palette. This has come in handy on more than one occasion. I love these little pocket palettes from Tarte. I think they're great for travel. I think they're great if you're a busy lady on the go, just to have something super small if you travel a lot. The shades are beautiful. It's neutral, borderline on the warm side, but you can make so many little different looks out of this. I know it looks pretty like, you know, like a one note sort of situation, but I've made quite a few looks out of this. It surprised me personally because, again, I kind of looked at it and thought, well, this is a one note kind of situation, but it's really not. There's a lot that you could do with this, and these perform beautifully, you guys. Really, really amazing formula. Typical Tarte, you know, they blend really nicely. They're very, very pigmented, and I just love the looks that I've been able to come up with, and I love the size of this. I mean, it's just perfect. And then last but not least, the Anastasia Soft Glam. I don't need to go into super detail about this. I'm sure we've all tried it by now, probably. If you haven't, you've probably seen it in store. You've probably swatched it out. This is an amazing palette, you guys. This complements so many other palettes. Like if I have a palette that's all shimmers, I know I can pull out Soft Glam and it will complement it. This also complements both of the other Anastasia palettes beautifully. I've paired it with Modern Renaissance, I've paired it with Subculture, and I've been able to come up with so many different looks. I did use this for a week straight, just pairing it with the other two Anastasia palettes that I have, and I had to like put it away. I was like, you have to go back in the drawer because I just wanted to continue to use it. Now, what I found to be the best part of pairing this with Subculture is a lot of people felt like Subculture didn't blend very well, but they loved the shades in Subculture. Now, I love Subculture. I can get Subculture to work for me, but I also respect Subculture, and I respect the fact that it's just not one of those palettes that you can do all this fancy, you know, it's a pigment. It's meant to, you know, like I use it on my lid. I use the pigment on my lid, and then I use other things in the crease. Some people were upset about that because they felt like they should be able to do a whole look with just that palette. I've created whole looks with just that palette, but if you were one of those people that felt like you had to have a supplementary palette, right here she is. I was able to come up with so many interesting looks with the Subculture and this palette. You can use these shades here in the crease. They blend beautifully, just like Modern Renaissance, and then take Subculture and really pack on that beautiful green or that mustard yellow. The mustard yellow pairs beautifully with these tones, and the looks that you can come up with are endless, you guys. So maybe give that a go if you have Subculture lying around and you just don't reach for her very often, because she is a little difficult and challenging to work with, you know, but I think this can be the key to some of those concerns, you know. That's it, you guys. I hope that this was helpful. I hope it wasn't too redundant. I almost didn't do it because I feared that it was going to be too redundant, considering I kind of spoke about each product as I went along in the first video, but hopefully, you know, you found it insightful. That's the whole point of the follow-up. And yeah, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I appreciate it so much. I do go live every single Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I do a full face get ready with me. So if you are interested, I'd love to have you come by. Grab your brushes. We can get ready together. We have a lot of fun. And yeah, I think that's it, you guys. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.